Here's more wrestling news for May 27th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include WWE Raw draws lowest audience in key demo rating of the year. JBL reacts after John Cena apologizes to China over Taiwan comment. Former WWE star says fans will never know where he will pop up next. WWE star stops all appearances due to medical and mental issues. Why WWE canceled the return of the Sanity stable. We're starting today with Raw, as this week's show set a record, though not the one WWE wanted to receive. This week's show, which saw women's tag team champions Natalya and Tamina defeat Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax in the main event, drew 1.621 million viewers, the lowest number of the entire year. Breaking that number down, the Red brand had 1.661 million viewers in its first hour, which dropped to 1.655 million in Hour 2, before a huge drop to 1.546 million in Hour 3. An 11.1% drop from last week's show, and the fourth lowest number in Raw's history. Raw also did a 0.45 in the 18 to 49 demographic, down from last week's 0.48. The Red brand's consistent slump in the ratings has been a worrying trend for the company, and hopefully things pick up with the return of a live audience later this year. Earlier this week, John Cena referred to Taiwan as a country, greatly angering the Chinese media, and the 16-time WWE World Champion was quick to apologize. Many people believe that Cena was a bit too quick to apologize and was groveling when he did, with his apology being mocked by the wrestling community and the non-wrestling world alike, with CM Punk recently changing his bio to say that Taiwan is a country. Not everyone is against Cena though, as on Twitter, John Bradshaw Layfield said he'll always stand with his former nemesis, explaining that he'll always side with someone who's granted over 600 Make-A-Wish wishes, a record for the company. According to Google Trends, Cena's apology made more people search for his name in the past week than at any other time in the last 7 months. A worrying statistic for the usually popular Cena, who is set to star in Fast and Furious 9 that'll release next month. AEW news, and with Double or Nothing traditionally a night of debuts in the company, as both Jon Moxley and Brian Cage debuted at the show, there's speculation on another name joining the company this Sunday. That person could well be Eric Rowan, who now goes by Eric Redbeard, and who discussed what's next in his wrestling career while speaking to WrestleZone this week. "I'm kinda dipping in everything right now, but I miss wrestling. I miss wrestling in front of people, and now that people are coming back, you could see me pop up in many different places, especially now that everything's starting to open. People are vaccinated. It's just exciting to see people getting back and doing normal things." AEW has one spot left open in its Casino Battle Royal, and while fans are hopeful for Nick Gage or Bryan Danielson, having Redbeard enter the match would be an exciting surprise as well. Fans haven't seen the former superstar in the ring since his emotional time at the Brody Lee tribute show late last year, and you never know if he has more in store in AEW or anywhere else for that matter. Now, as a staple of the original ECW, Mikey Whipwreck has a ton of fans who'd love to meet him, but that's going to be difficult from now on. On Twitter, Whipwreck said he's stopping doing all public appearances and gave a long list of reasons why. In addition to being unable to drive at night, Mikey said he's dealing with crippling social anxiety, and he's tired of hearing fat jokes at conventions made about him. Adding that he's also dealing with mood swings, a stammer, and migraines practically every day, something he attributes to his 14 concussions, Mikey added that he's enjoyed spending time at home with his family, and has had enough of seeing his kids cry when he packs his bag. Whipwreck has a long list of medical and mental reasons for giving up doing public appearances, and hopefully he can overcome any problems he's currently dealing with. Now, from 2016 to 2018, the stable Sanity dominated NXT, capturing both the NXT tag titles and a year-end award for Best Team of 2017, but things went south quickly when they joined the main roster. Moved up without Nikki Cross, the group of Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, and Eric Young, the group struggled on the main roster, but nearly had a second shot at the big time. According to Ringsiders Wrestling, Alexander Wolf said that WWE was close to bringing the group back before the ongoing global situation happened and Eric Young then got released. He added, "That was the plan, to bring Sanity back, just to have all three of us together, and then we would feud with the three guys of Imperium, but then they have to figure out what we can do, blah blah blah, and I thought because of this, and even with EY being gone from the company, that they want to do something with Killian Dane and me, and maybe with Drake Maverick together then, or maybe with somebody else." Young's release put an end to any plans to bring Sanity back, which certainly can't happen now that Wolf is also gone. And whilst the group had a ton of momentum on the Gold brand, that didn't translate once Vince McMahon got a hold of them. It's been over a year since The Undertaker's last WWE match, and even longer since he competed in a wrestling ring, but the former world champion isn't slowing down one bit. This week, the dead man shared a photo on his Instagram of himself lifting a kettlebell outdoors, saying that the game may be over, but the grind never ends. Despite his Survivor Series 2020 retirement, The Undertaker has still made WWE appearances over the last 6 months, including appearing on the Broken Skull Sessions and WWE's Most Wanted Treasures. After 30 years in WWE and 33 years in the wrestling business, the legendary superstar had his final farewell last November, and whilst his days in the ring are over, he clearly has no plans to slow down his exercise routine. For years, the Phenom dominated SmackDown, a name that was made famous by The Rock. It was during the heights of the Attitude Era that the Brahma Bull was laying the smackdown on all his opponents, with many believing he coined the term. That isn't the case, as The Rock explained this week in a response to a WWE tweet asking fans who they think of first when they see the original SmackDown logo. Though many responses said the great one, The Rock said that his answer is Downtown Bruno, aka Harvey Whippleman, revealing that he coined the name of the blue brand. Whippleman joined the WWF in 1991 and still works there, and is good friends with the Brahma Bull, even being gifted a pickup truck last year by the former world champion, and now we know to thank him for coining the term SmackDown. Back to the present, and Xavier Woods has had a tremendous career in WWE, becoming a multi-time tag team champion and YouTube star with Up Up Down Down, but the New Day superstars know all things must come to an end. Speaking to Insight with Chris Van Vliet this week, Woods discussed what his plans are when he has to hang up his boots, saying, "I'm learning bass guitar. I have aspirations to be a studio bassist, hopefully in the next 5 to 7 years. It's music, so there are components that I already understand with playing trombone." Woods is a man of many talents, and whilst his in-ring retirement is a long way away, the New Day star is wise to already have plans in motion. In July, the WWE is finally heading back out on the road as part of a 25-city tour, and now the next 3 dates have been confirmed. Yesterday, WWE confirmed that the July 23rd SmackDown will be in Cleveland, the July 26th Raw in Kansas City, and the July 30th SmackDown in Minneapolis. This follows on from WWE's first 3 dates announced last week, which include the July 16th SmackDown, July 18th Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and July 19th Raw. We'll have to see where WWE goes to next, but the first 6 dates have now been confirmed, and it's interesting that so far, Florida, who have been WWE's base of operations for the past 15 months, hasn't made the cut. AEW news next, and with the news that Dynamite will be moving to TBS next January, there's been speculation on what kind of changes may be made to fit their new television home. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer was asked if AEW will be forced to tone down their programming content, but it looks like Warner Media know what they're paying for. Meltzer explained that whilst Warner Media is giving AEW more hours, more specials, and more money, there won't be any difference in the amount of blood, and that the company will continue to follow the same standards and practices on each station. The general idea is that Warner Media is very happy with AEW thus far, and they're already aware that AEW drops at least one S-bomb per show and often features blood on their programming. Featuring a match like Blood and Guts after a bunch of sitcom reruns on TBS might seem out of place now, but Warner Media knows what they're buying and have no problem with their content. One major boost from AEW's new deal with Warner Media is that it'll mean more money into the company that'll allow for bigger signings and more projects for the company. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer was asked how much money AEW is getting from this new contract, and whilst he didn't have the exact figure, he confirmed it's over $10 million. We'll have to see how Tony Khan spends this money exactly, but with $10 million extra and an extra hour on TV, things are looking bright for the All Elite promotion. And we're ending with AEW's Brian Cage, who is stepping out of the ring and into the world of horror movies. This week, producer Sean Cairo confirmed that Cage has joined the cast of Jasper, a horror movie from the award-winning writer-director Keith Vale, which tells the story of a group of friends stalked by a serial killer who disposes of bodies using the hogs on a southwestern farm. Cage's character will be called Hammer, and horror and wrestling fans alike will be able to see him in action when it hits cinemas on February 25th, 2022. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.